Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rum and a Couch video number 94. Dave here from Manchester Rum Festival, and for this episode, I think this might be the third one of this brand I've done. No, I lie, that could be number 4, I think it might be. Because over the last couple of years, I've released a lot of limited edition bottlings, and I've been very fortunate to be able to experience them. And I wanted to do the very same with yourselves today as well. And that is the brand of Pusser's Rum. Now, this is Pusser's Deptford Dockyard Reserve, limited edition 2022 special reserve. What makes this a little bit different in terms of the core range, which I want to say were one of the very beginning of all this Rum and a Couch. Don't know if you're actually part of canon, shall we say, but they definitely inspired me to do what we do today. 2 years later as well. In fact, over 2 years now. But ultimately, I've showcased their 50th anniversary of Black Tot. I want to say I did one last year as well. Struggling to remember now. We've done a lot of these Rum and a Couches. Drank a lot of rum, for that matter. But either way, this is their latest. 54.5% ABV, as expected when it comes to things like Pussers. On the back label, we're looking at the words, Deptford Dockyard was the Royal Navy, I can't speak that word, victualling boards, might have said that wrong, main spirit depot in 1742. The yard's warehouse housed 30 storage vats, which accommodated and aged over 250,000 gallons of rum. Deptford I've just seen a spelling mistake, I think. Deptford supplied the fleet, or supplied the fleet, I think it should be. But Deptford supplied the fleet with a flavourful blend of Empire rums from British Navy suppliers located in Demerara, which is Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados and Jamaica. While little is known about early Admiralty specifications, the blend was done in such proportion as experience had shown was preferred by the men. To commemorate the 52nd anniversary of Black Tot Day, Pusser's introduced its limited edition Deptford Dockyard Reserve at Navy Proof, featuring a blend of aged, high-ester distillates from Caribbean countries in Great Britain's naval past. Not a bad shout. So, let's give this a go. Now, this has already been opened. I was a little bit keen. I was down at the Lions Club in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. I just picked this bottle up. And I also had in the same time in my bag a handful of other overproof rums, gunpowder style, high strength. And I just thought, yeah, let's crack this open as well. So I have already had the experience of this prior, but when you're drinking other overproof rums, your mind does start to blend together a little bit. So let's give this another go. Okay. 54.5%. Beautiful colour to this. Actually quite ripe. Berries. Cherry for that matter. A lot of currant elements towards. A little bit of raisin, a little bit of dry raisin for that matter. A bit of resin towards it. Treacle, definitely. That sort of subtle burnt treacle I get a lot with Pusser's rums. Definitely some sort of, I want to say cocoa. Like a little dryness you get with cocoa nibs. But ultimately, not too rich, but definitely a nice, rich, bold profile. And it does have a slight freshness towards it. It's like it's trying to lift itself out of the glass a bit more. Okay, this is intriguing me. And the good thing is, I don't remember what it used to taste like at the Lions Club. So let's wipe that slate clean and let's try this for the very first time. So this is Pusser's Rum, Deptford Dockyard Reserve. Bottle number 1378 for the geeks. Well, I've tried a lot of rums over the years at this sort of strength that just offers power. This does but in waves. Yes, it's impactful, but it's a slow burner. And it comes and goes. It comes back again, it goes again, comes back again, and goes again for a nice, and it's quite a lengthy finish towards it. It's sort of slowly coating the senses. I get a little bit more of the burnt orange comes through now. That sort of burnt toffee has faded away. The orange element, that sort of slight citrus, maybe that's that power that's trying to get through on the aromas, trying to get out of that glass. Citrus is trying to lift it a bit more. I get the treacle. It is still there. It's not as burnt, but you get the sort of silkiness. Not too oily. It's definitely quite mid. You get that sort of underlining element that goes quite wide to your palate, but ultimately it's not a powerful twist towards it. There's also, when I got the aromas of that sort of stone cherry fruits, it's there, but you get the skins of it, you know. It's not the juice, but you get the elements of that cherry. I won't say like Manila cherry either, or glazed cherry. It's stemmed, you know, it's a bit more driven towards more individual flavour, not just an powerful, you know, all the cherries in the world in your mouth. It's just that subtle aromas, subtle flavourings just coming through, especially when you breathe in at the same time. I like that. That's good. And I tell you what, I was stupidly trying to compare it to their 151. And it's not, it's nothing like that. Trying to compare it to their 50th anniversary, now that would be an interesting little experiment. Obviously, same ABV, still a special edition. I think I may have not got any left, so that could be a fruitless proposition. But if I did, it'd be interesting to see what sort of difference, if any. You know, it might only be quite subtle, it might be quite a wider mark. But I suppose it's the cool thing about what Pussers are doing at the moment. You know, these special editions, it gets people back on board with what Pussers is all about. You know, Royal Navy elements, the historical impact. You know, I definitely, on Black Top Day on the 31st of July, raised the rum, and it was Pussers. You know, I have the Black Top rums as well, and they are very, very good. But I just went straight for Pussers, and I think that's the cool thing about what this brand's, especially the last you know, handful of years, has sort of repositioned itself. You know, refocused a little bit of that historical elements, and to bring out, you know, I didn't know anything about Deptford Docks, and I'm learning today. You know, I didn't read the back of the bottle when I picked the bottle up. I spoke to Steve about this. Steve Dingley is the brand manager for the world when it comes to Pussers, and obviously told me about the upcoming release of Deptford, and he gave me an idea, but maybe I didn't twig of the impact, especially here in the UK, of what this brand can do, or what, sorry, Deptford Reserve and the docks is all about. So I'm still learning, and that's the cool thing about this. That it's offering those little slices of history and having a great rum to back it up as well. So, ladies and gents, I think this may still be available in a handful of retailers across the UK. Best thing to do is obviously have a look at what Pussers Rum have on their socials, maybe a bit of some guidance in where to pick a bottle up from. But if you've had the opportunity to do so already, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think might work well as possibly you know, a cocktail. Would this work well in a painkiller? It would. Would I prefer the gunpowder expression as Pussers would normally have? It's a slightly more vibrant element towards it, yeah, and probably shine through better. But this is quite a nice, softer approach, despite the high strength towards it as well. So make a very different element to a painkiller. But still, this with something like cranberry juice, even pineapple juice alone as well, would still work very, very well. But to be brutally honest, knowing how limited edition this is, it doesn't say how many bottles, but there's at least 1,378 of these. I'd just have it straight from the bottle. I really would. No messing around, nothing to add to it. Maybe a little bit of chocolate, to be fair. Nice, you know, 70-80% cocoa quite balances quite nicely. You know, nice little finish to the evening maybe, or start of the day, depending how you're working. But Great little shout, to be fair. So, ladies and gents, if you have the opportunity to give it a go, please do let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. But ultimately, what also maybe is your favourite Pussers? Are you liking what these guys are doing, bringing out these limited and special editions? Or do you just prefer the sort of original bottles of that Pusser's Gunpowder, the Pusser's Blue, their new Spiced Expression, which is also a gunpowder expression off memory, if not overproof, and of course their new 151 that was on the previous Rum and a Couch as well. So, ladies and gents, hopefully that's to give you an inspiration to try some new Pusser's rums out. We'll see you all again as we're getting very close to that number 100. I might do something a little bit special for that. Still trying to make my mind up on when that might be as well. But ultimately, ladies and gents, I will see you all for the next episode of Rum and a Couch.